Hi, we're Hanging Hayley.
And you're watching
The Set.
Well, the way we came up with our name, we just juggled around a few ideas one day. That's just kind of what we came up with. No real meaning behind it.
Got a long road ahead, I've got so many miles to go. I need a partner, I need a friend. I can't take it any longer, I heard you say it loud and clear. I'm on my way to get you there. And I said, oh, I can't forget you, baby. Oh, there's something about you, honey. We need to go. And when the sun is rising, I guarantee you made the right choice. We'll make it out of this town, I swear. And when you're smiling back at me in your soul, I can't see your eyes, but captivate me. And I said, I can't forget you, baby. There's something about you, honey. We need to go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And in the morning time, you and I will live our dreams. And if you listen close, you'll understand I'll be your man. And when I hold your hand, I think you'll understand I'll always be there till the end. And I said, I can't forget you, baby. There's something about you, honey. We need to go. We all actually met. I met Chase in like 2011. We took a class at OCOKC, and then he already knew Nate since like grade school or like a long time ago. And then we met. I met Austin through a mutual professor that we had at OCOKC as well.
It's 4 years total. 3 years? 4 years.
It's 5 years.
5 years, yeah. 5 years, yeah.
The new
We
guy
have been
over
playing.
here.
Yeah, he's the
Yes.
newest one, so yeah.
I think for every band it's different. It's way different for everybody. it's really just however you stay inspired, I think, and like for us, really it's just if we show up to practice with a new riff, we run something by everybody and say, hey, how does this sound? Is this cool? Do you guys like this?
No, we just build
and then
on
we just
it.
build on that
Yeah.
idea for each song, and then we just kind of
Put them all together.
compile the songs, see what we like, see what we don't like, if there's something we need to change, and then kind of for us it's really just it's kind of sporadic for us because we like to record and then go back and write more and then record and go back and write more. So that's kind of our process. So
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. I'd just like to
thank
say
you guys.
Yeah, thank you for having us
Thanks
here.
for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a little
Yeah,
blast.
we had a lot of
letting us
fun.
play, and
Mhm.
so we had a great time with you guys. So.
Coming down, I can see your face. The memories I have can't take your place. But no one cares to listen for the truth. Burning away before things change. To handle this life, there's too much pain. I will not spend another day with you. We're on our road, you say. We're on our road, you say. We're on our road, yeah. And if you wanna say where I'm standing, everything's so beautiful. If you wanna look inside my head, you'll understand we're different. If you wanna say where I'm standing, everything's so beautiful. If you take the time, I'm trying to find the happiness I'm searching for. Yeah. Now that I said these things to you, won't you forgive me, let me through one last chance, I'll make it up to you. And I'll pick up the pieces and the ones that I found, and will help me remember how to turn it around. One last look behind, I move ahead. And you say, we're on our road, you say. We're on our road, you say. We're on our road again. And if you wanna say where I'm standing, everything's so beautiful. If you wanna look inside my head, you'll understand we're different. If you wanna say where I'm going, everything's so beautiful. If you take the time, I try to find the happiness I'm searching for, yeah. And if you wanna say where I'm standing, everything's so beautiful. If you wanna look inside my head, you'll understand we're different. If you wanna say where I'm going, everything's so beautiful. If you take the time, I'm trying to find the happiness I'm searching for, yeah. What it is, yeah, what it is, yeah, what it is, yeah,
My musical mentor, I always kind of knew I wanted to play drums. Ever since I was a little kid, I'd like beat on pots and pans and stuff. But I met a gentleman by the name of Austin Brimacombe. He was my first drum teacher. So he kind of helped me and showed me the ropes, and so that was kind of my first musical mentor. So
Me, it was I just picked up, my dad guitared in the house like years ago when I was like 12 or 13, and so I got lessons from a gentleman called Greg Lee, and that was back in when I was like 13 or so.
I just picked up the guitar one day. I think Nate and I probably started roughly the same time, and he taught me a lot of what I know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I've been playing for about 10 years. Influences are power metal bands like Halloween and Angra and all that. Yeah.
okay, I play the drums. I played the drums for probably 11 years now. And at times it was hard to stay passionate. I think sometimes when you're, like I said, mentioning previously with the journey, sometimes it's you have to find ways to motivate yourself to keep getting better and to push forward, especially if you're in a slump of some sort. But listening to new kinds of music really inspired me, so that was something that helped me stay passionate.
Yeah, I think trying to find time to practice every day, just a little bit, even just like 30 minutes, an hour, or trying to write new stuff would be a way to stay motivated. And just listening to new music on the radio or just different bands to get influences from, stuff like that. And I play guitar.
I play the bass guitar, and I think what's kept me motivated to get better at my instrument, I used to play guitar, and him and I switched instruments, and it's kept me motivated to learn a new instrument. I wasn't a bass guitar player before we made the switch, so every day just trying to get better and improve to try and reach a level that I feel comfortable with playing.
Yeah, I've been playing for about 10 years, and like through that time, I just became obsessed with it in the beginning, and I've just been wanting to be the best I can be. And every year, there's like a whole batch of new guitarists out there that are doing crazy things. So I'm just trying to keep up and learn as much as I can.
Probably one of the craziest and most fun shows that we've played was just last April. We opened for the Struts at the Diamond Ballroom, and it was a pretty packed house. That was probably the most fun show we've played, I think.
I think that was probably the most people we've ever played in front of too. They ended up, I think the promoter ended up telling us that it was over 1,000 people that ended up showing up for the show. So that was a really cool experience for us and for our band. So I don't know that I would claim an expert title of my instrument, but it's a growing learning process. I think one thing that helps any musician is when you get to play with other talented musicians. I know for sure in the year and a half that I've been with Hanging Hayley that my music has definitely progressed. I think we help each other grow.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't know if I'd ever call myself an expert, but, you know, learning, it's just really about the journey with music, in my opinion. So.
Ditto.
Yeah, I don't consider myself an expert either. I'm still
Yeah.
learning.
I try and learn something every year to build and add to my playing as I go. Yes. I will never be an expert.
Nate's an expert. Nate's we're novices. Nate's an expert.
We're trying to record an album this year. Try to get it done by this year, like a full-length album.
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah, just check us out on Facebook /Hanging Hayley. You can find us on YouTube, and I don't know, we'll play.
Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. Just social media, yeah.
On the set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
on the
go.
set.
On the set, I think we're really trying to just one thing that we've made a kind of a pact with ourselves is that we're going to start playing more shows this year. Recently, we've kind of been a little lax. You know, we try to average like 1 month or one show a month, and I think for the future, I don't know if our sound would change as much as we're hoping to keep that the same, but just more shows. Ideally, we're going to try and tour. That's something that we're really hoping to get going here within the year. So, and then like Doug mentioned, the album that we're recording. So that's what our fans hopefully can look forward to.
You see my reflections when you're staring back at me. My back's against the wall. You don't care if I'm coming back for more. What's it gonna take? The demons hard to tame. Don't you like to play the way we've always played? Would you like to know when I'm all alone? Time to separate, but still I hesitate. Always complicate when you're all alone. When I'm not around, you see my reflection when you're staring back at me. My back's against the wall. You don't care if I'm coming back for more. What's it gonna take? The demons hard to tame. Don't you worry about the things you can't control when I'm not around. When you're all alone, time to separate, and the times we had, nothing ever left. So the story goes, why'd you have to go? You see my reflection when you're staring back at me. My back's against the wall. You don't care if I'm coming back for more. What's it gonna take? I'll never hesitate. staring back at me, my back's against the wall. You don't care if I'm coming back for more. What's it gonna take? I'm never hard to take. You see my reflections underneath it all. What's it gonna be? I'm never hard to see. You don't